couldn't tell you when I started feeling out of place. I only know that one day I stopped in front of the mirror and saw someone I barely knew. My name is Lucia, I'm 74 years old, and I've never told this story in full. I was already past 70, 74 years old to be exact. That number followed me everywhere, like a step behind mine. 74 years spent not creating problems, choosing silence, thinking it was the right thing. I was sitting in the room we'd lived in for decades. Dim light, furniture unmoved, a blanket folded carefully. As always, in front of me was an empty chair. Nobody used it. It wasn't waiting for someone. It was just there, like a possibility never chosen. In that moment, I had a thought that made me lower my eyes. What if that spot had been mine from the beginning? Not to actually sit, but to exist. When I got married, I was 21. 21. An age when you don't yet know what you're signing. At 21, you believe that love is enough. You believe love is a simple promise, clean, with no hidden costs. You don't know that certain promises become habits, and habits become walls. At 21, you put on a dress, smile, take photos, shake hands, listen to phrases that all sound the same. And inside you tell yourself that finally someone sees you. You tell yourself that finally you don't have to be afraid anymore. And instead, without noticing, you start learning something else. That being seen doesn't mean being known. That being chosen doesn't mean being heard. Now the math is simple and it hurts because it's 53 years. 53 years inside the same shape. 53 years. I repeat it because every time I say it, it weighs on my chest. 53 years isn't just time. It's habits that become bones. It's words not said that pile up. It's birthdays when they tell you you're always the same, and you don't know if it's a compliment or a sentence. It's dinners when you set the table, even when you're not hungry, because that's what you do, because that's what's done. It's mornings when you wake up and you've already decided that today you won't ask for anything, so at least you won't risk disappointing someone. At 21, I didn't ask for much. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to be chosen every day. I wanted someone to hold my hand without making me feel like too much. I wanted a house that wasn't cold, a voice that didn't become distant. I wanted to stop feeling off balance, like it would take nothing to make me fall. Nobody explained to me that safety can become a locked room. At first it seems like you're choosing that room. Then one day you realize the door doesn't open like it used to, and you don't even know when you lost the key. At first everything seemed normal, or at least that's what I called it. Normal was adjusting my words in my mouth. Normal was laughing at the right moment. Normal was not asking complicated questions because complicated questions ruin the air. I was careful with tones, with pauses, not to take up too much space. I was careful even with how I breathed when someone was tired. I was careful how I walked, how I closed a door, how I set a glass on the table, as if even a sound could be a mistake. I told myself it was respect, that it's what you do when you love, and I didn't realize that. Every time I told myself that, I lost a piece of me, not a big piece, a little piece, the kind nobody notices until there's almost nothing left. Then the years started slipping away, 10, 20, then 30, and every time a number got bigger, I got smaller. 30 years spent not asking myself questions, only asking if everything was in balance, and if that balance was really worth the price I was paying. Time, meanwhile, worked in silence, with patience. It was a polite enemy. At 45, I had a brief, annoying thought. It lasted a moment. What if I was living someone else's life? I chased it away immediately, like you do with dangerous ideas. And meanwhile, the years added up. 40, then 50, then 53. 53 years. I repeat it because you can't argue with numbers. Time didn't just take years from me. It took my spontaneity, and that was only the beginning. If you think the hardest part is behind us, stay a moment longer, because what comes next is more subtle. I understood I hadn't decided to disappear. It happened without a signature. Gesture after gesture. Surrender after surrender. At 35, I'd already learned to shrink myself, not to disturb. At 42, I smiled out of habit. I said it was maturity. I said it was love. Over time, though, that emptiness took on substance, always present. Nobody noticed it, and that's what made it final. I kept doing everything the way it should be done, ordered days, problems avoided, but every evening sitting there, I felt a distance. I hadn't yet understood that distance was me. The chair in front of me never changed position, always empty. One day I asked myself how long it had been since I felt alive. Not physically, inside. I was 74 years old. I repeat it because it weighs. 74 years spent being reliable. 74 years spent being accommodating. 74 years spent being a good wife. And I couldn't remember when I'd simply been me. Not useful, not proper, just present. There was an ordinary afternoon when something gave way. Not a fight, not a word, just silence. I looked at my hands, and I thought something that scared me. If I disappeared today, would a person be missed, or just a habit? Not the role, not the function, but someone. The answer didn't come right away, and when it came, it was final. I'd spent 53 years adapting, 53 years filing myself down, and now time was asking for payment. If you think the pain is realizing you've lost yourself, wait, because what remains is even harder. I understood I hadn't lost myself all at once. I'd left myself behind little by little, 1 year at a time, one silence at a time. At 74, I tried to remember who I was at the beginning. It took time. That memory was worn. Time kept passing. Indifferent. 53 years. I say it quietly because it still weighs. 53 years lived without asking myself if I was happy. Sitting in that room, I understood something. I hadn't been forced. I had chosen to. I'd believed that loving meant disappearing a little, and time had given me order, but not fullness. At 74, I understood that some truths only come to show you what won't return. They make no noise. They stay. I asked myself if going back 53 years, I would have made different choices. The answer isn't easy. I only know that today I feel the weight of every silence. If you're listening and feel something tighten inside, stay a moment longer. Maybe this story isn't just about me. Maybe it's about all those right roles that over time become invisible. I understood who I was when the time behind me was too much. And that's the part that hurts most. If you want, write a simple phrase in the comments. Write, "This is me." Hit like if this story made you slow down. Share it with someone who might recognize themselves. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep listening to stories that make no deals with time. Because some truths hurt, but ignoring them always costs more.